Great rise. Oh my God. Yeah, hold on a second. I keep doing this. I keep forgetting that all my shenanigans can be seen on YouTube. So sorry about that. So let's start over. Great rise of the moonlights, beloved. You know who this is. You know what it is. It's Queen Goddess. It is Melanated Monday. What's going on, family? I see you. Appreciate you. Racine. Appreciate you for coming on in. I might be a minute early or a couple seconds early, but that's okay because most of the time y'all's late. So I'm gonna give you a minute or two, or maybe even three, to come on in so we can start our discussion, our part two discussion on the sacred woman. Okay. Um, if you've noticed from last week, or from the week before last, I started um, doing things a little differently. My focus is a little different now. I found it necessary to change up some things. So you will not hear me talk about the same things or focus on the same things that I have been for the past 5 years, as that is how long we have been live from Melanated Monday. It is just time to change up some things so some things can change up. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. I hope that's okay with you. I hope that the information that I continue to give you all will always be edifying and that it will cause you to make the changes necessary in order for what needs to change to change. So, those of you who are coming in, I appreciate you. So I'm gonna give you all time. I know I started a little bit early, so I'm gonna give you all time to get in here and get it together. If you would like to share this post with any women in particular that you know, feel free to do so. Again, this is basically I don't want to just call it a series, but we're going to be talking about this for a long time. Okay. As far as the sacred woman is concerned, it is very important for us to get an understanding, and I said overstanding and understanding as to who and what we are, the power of that womb, the power of the feminine period. Okay. So, excuse me. So I'm gonna give you all time. I said to come on in and um, share the video if you would like. Hey, sister, what's going on, Misty? I see you, loved one. Appreciate you, beloved. If you all want to share the video, feel free to do so. If you want to get paper and pen so you can take some notes, I would probably advise that you do so. Um, I'm not going to refer to this as a show per se, anymore, as it is more of the classroom. Okay, this is where information is given. Hopefully, the information is processed factually and not according to how you feel about it, because I still say if your feelings, okay, that ain't changed. That's one thing that has not changed. Okay. So I said again, hopefully you all will come in and get the information you need, apply it the way it needs to be applied so we can move forward. Again, tonight's topic is the sacred woman and the state of the nation. Okay. While we're waiting, real quickly, I'm going to remind you of a couple books that you all need to put in your repertoire. Okay, put it in your collection, put it in your library. First is being The Conspiracy to Destroy the Black Woman. Michael Porter is the author of this book. Michael Porter, The Conspiracy to Destroy the Black Woman. You definitely want to read this and get an understanding of everything that has been transpiring against Black women and how we keep missing it, if you will, how it has become a norm and what needs to be done in order to change our narrative. Okay, so we have to consider that. But definitely make sure you pick up this book, the second book, which is based on tonight's, well, not even just tonight, but which is based on our conversation, is Sacred Woman. This is another important book for you all to get, read, understand, and study. Okay, we're going to be doing a lot from this book. Is a whole process. It's not just about a conversation. This is a practice. It is a way of living. Okay, it is a complete transformation of self process. So this is not just something you read, say, oh, that was a good book. No, this is something you have to apply to self in order to become your true self. So make sure you get this, Sacred Woman by Queen Afua. I said there are some things we're going to be addressing a lot of it we're going to be addressing directly out of this book. I'm going to start asking questions, giving homework, all kind of things. And this is only for those people who are serious about who they are. If you come in just to say, oh, that was a good show, you can click off, because that ain't what this is about at all. Okay, it's not a lot of you all here, but guess what? I'm here, and the ones that are here, and we gonna start. The ones that show up, they get in when they get in. So again, tonight's subtopic is the state of the nation. You know how it pertains to women. Last week we discussed the difference in term of woman as we know it, WOMAN, and wombman as it is. We discussed a few things. I don't remember if we really got into this. Well, yeah, we did kind of touch a little bit biblically on some things, and I don't want to go there. I don't want to go deep there. This is never a religious conversation, but we had to touch some things. Understanding that the term woman, as we know it, is broken down into woman, and it means of or from the man. And this is how we have been taught of our how we've come to be, that we came from the rib of a man. Okay, we've grown to accept this as truth because we read it. We read it in a book that is called the Holy Bible. Therefore, we assume that every word, and we have been taught that and conditioned to believe that every word in it is absolutely complete and true. There are no errors or omissions. It is exactly what God, the man Father, has said, and there's no mistaking about it. And I'm here to tell you there's great mistaking about it. Okay, there are a lot of flaws in that. And again, this is not a religious conversation, so we're not going to go there tonight. But if you have any questions that I might be able to help you find an answer for, you can reach out to me personally if you know how to do that. Okay, so we're going to move on. This I wanted to just kind of keep you abreast or reminding you of where we were last week and why we're here again today, to also remind you of the strength that you have as a woman, the strength that you are as a woman, the power that you are as a woman, the influences that you have as woman, and not to be led astray to be life that you are anything lesser than a god. Okay, we use goddess to define the feminine god, which is fine, no worries in that, but we need to spell that thing correctly Okay, we need to write it correctly. We need to address it correctly because the term is God is, God is, goddess. Okay, God is. God created or is masculine and feminine energy. We have been created also in the image of God, masculine and feminine energies, but we have also been conditioned to only recognize the masculine. Everything is about God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit, but just still referenced in masculine form. And we have neglected, yet again, the feminine aspect of that. And we must address her accordingly. We have been taught that the Trinity is the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. What's going on, Veronica? Thank you for being here, loved one. I appreciate you. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit is the Holy Trinity. And it's just that. However, everything operates in duality. Um, the divine Trinity must include the feminine. So you have the man, the woman, and the child as your true divine Trinity. The man, the woman, and the child as a true divine Trinity. Emphasis on we cannot keep leaving out the feminine aspect of God. Can't do it. Okay, there is a balance. Everything happens in duality. And because of the way that we were taught, the way that we've been conditioned, the things that we see, the things that we read, was constantly being pounded in our heads, in our sight, in our ears, is telling us that everything that is sacred, holy, strong, whatever, is based on masculine energy, and that's just not the truth. There's a balance in the two. So what we're gonna do is put a little more emphasis, a little more, get a little more understanding of the power of the woman. Okay. So my first suggestion to you all would be to start practicing when you write woman out, that you write it according to what it is. Womb man, not WOMAN, but womb, WOMBMAN, woman. Start saying it as woman. Okay. The more you say it, the more you will receive that information as fact, the more you will process that accordingly, the more you will carry yourself in such a way. Okay. Those things create an energy. Those energies have vibrations. Those vibrations cause things to move. And this is what we're trying to do here. What we're doing here is causing things to move. So, real quick, again, in this book here, Sacred Woman, there are so many mentions of different queens and goddesses, rulers. I haven't studied them. Okay, I'm still reading it. But one of the things that we must put into play is called ma'at. Ma'at is also, it is referring to a feminine energy or a feminine being as well, that was focused or is focused on self responsibility and accountabilities. It inspires, and put it that way, responsibility and accountability. It has 42 laws. Like, this is a principle. It's a way of being, and it represents truth and harmony, balance, law, righteousness, sobriety, and propriety. And what propriety is the state of conforming to accepted behaviors as moral. So what we have been, our previous state of propriety has been based solely on the standards and constructs of masculinity. So we have been in line with just masculine energy, period. We've been bombarded with masculine energies, and as feminine energies that don't have an over or understanding of how to balance that out, it causes us to be out of balance. It causes us to experience things that are out of whack, our emotions out of whack, how we process out of whack, just all messed up, because there has to be a balance between the masculine and the feminine. Sometimes you got to shut the masculine down and the feminine must take over. Sometimes you got to shut the feminine down and the masculine must take over, but it must be a balance. So the main principles again of Ma'at, which is M-A-A-T, as it's a feminine energy based upon a goddess Ma'at, which represents truth, harmony, balance, law, righteousness, sobriety, and propriety. There are 42 principles, 42 laws of Ma'at, and we're going over all of them. Okay, are we doing it tonight? Nope. But I am going to give you 6 of them. And I'm going to give you 6 of them for 7 days. So every day there will be 6 laws of Ma'at that will be posted for you to not just read, but study and practice in order for your true feminine goddess to begin to reveal herself. And I promise you that once we have gotten to mastering ourselves, mastering our feminine energies, we're going to see a lot of things change. Like, you're not even going to recognize yourself. People are not going to recognize you the way that they always have, because they will truly see the goddess, the God is in you. And that's what we want, right? Like, that is a necessity. And this is not for the sake of us feeling good. This is for the sake of balance. This is for the sake of spiritual transformations. The world that we've been living in, the things that we've been experiencing have been because of the imbalance of the feminine and masculine energy. The masculine energy has been in complete rule, chaos. Okay, there are no nurturing energies found in the masculine. So it's important that that feminine energy is brought to life. Okay, if you all have any questions at any time during this schooling, y'all know what to do. Call me 770-906-5271, 770-906-5271. So last night I participated meaning I watched on Facebook. There was through Eventbrite, there was a class, I guess, webinar that talked about Black women, the celebrating of Black women and why Black women should be celebrated. And they discussed a few people, different women that I had no idea existed. I'm not going to go through that list necessarily, but it dates way back. And because we don't know that these women existed, obviously we can't give them any praise or recognition, and we also won't see ourselves in them or see them in ourselves. Like, there'll be no type of reflection. So I want to remind you that we go way back. Okay, the power of us goes way back. Who we are goes way back, and not just in the typical women that we know about. Not just the Sojourner Truths, not just the Ida B. Wells, Coretta Scott. Yeah, I can't even think of the main one. Y'all know who I'm talking about. I can't even think of her name. That's a mess. But anyway, underground. Come on, y'all know what I'm talking about. And Rosa Parks, and those with Harriet Tubman. That's what I'm talking about. It goes beyond that, and we need to know that. We need to know that these women exist. But what really captured me was a few of the statements that have been made by women and men, and one of them was mentioned through I can't remember who said it. I think Mary McLeod Bethune. I think she says the true worth of a race must be measured by the character of its woman. The true worth of a race is measured by the character of its woman. That's something to think about, right? Especially when you consider the state that we're in generally right now. We're okay with being called thoughts. We're okay with calling each other bitches and hoes and sluts and whatever. We're okay with that. And because we have accepted these low vibration titles and positions or whatnot, then the state of what we're in, the state of our nation is low vibration because we've allowed it to be so. We have allowed other people to see us as such. We have allowed other people to categorize us as such. We have even tried to justify, well, I'm the boss bitch, or I'm the main hoe. What is that? There's no justification for that. It's still low vibration. You know what I'm saying? So we have to consider what we call ourselves, how we identify ourselves, and then how we allow other people to identify us has a significant effect on the nation as a whole. We are the deliverers, if you will, the creators, if you will, of the nations. If we're not okay, what we give life to is not going to be okay. If we accept that we four-legged animals, or that we're thoughts, I don't even know where that came from, whatever it is, if we accept that, then whatever we give life to, that's what we're reproducing. It's not okay. So we have to think about that. So again, so the true worth of a race must be measured by the character of its woman. Another powerful statement was that educating a woman is educating a nation. There she go. Anointed Yvonne is in the building. Hey, sugar. Good to see you, love. I couldn't answer your phone call because I'm right here, but I'm glad you're right here. And we miss you. So let me get back to it. Educating a woman is the same. It is equal to educating a nation. So when a woman has valuable and powerful information and skills, that's something that she has taken in. She has taken in the information. She has taken in the knowledge and the wisdom, the understanding. And as we know, anything a woman takes in, she's going to nurture that thing and make it bigger. She's going to give life to it and then reproduce it. She's going to bring it forth, right? So if she is given information, if she is given education, if she is given wisdom and power and strength and whatever, if she's given that, she's going to nurture that thing and give it right back. What's going on, Melissa? Thank you, loved one, for being here. I appreciate you. So if you give her education, if you give her quality, true education, not this bull that we used to, but if you give her real, honest, powerful information, powerful education in whatever it is, she's going to utilize that information and make it bigger. She's going to make it come to fruition. These are facts. When men, and a lot of these things that are being promoted through men as being the creator of, the inventor of, the founder of, or whatever, the initial thought, the initial idea, the initial movement of came from a woman. What's going on, Coco? Thank you, loved one, for being here. I appreciate you. But she's put in the background. Now, I'm not saying that all and every, okay? So I should say a lot and most of the time, it has come from the mind of a feminine, but she's not given any credit for it. She's not recognized for it. She's not even told that she better speak on nothing, okay? We have to stop doing that. It is because of the wisdom that she is, the experiences that she's been through, that she has, that she creates, that she's able to nurture all of those things and reproduce, recreate. Give us some credit, okay? Cut it out. A nation can rise no higher than its woman. These are also some statements that have come from men, but the woman either never hears it, doesn't know it, has no idea, whatever it is. You good, cousin? Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. She has no idea of the power and the strength that she is. It's like the world, the balance of the world depends on the energy of the woman, the woman. If you all notice, when masculine energies bump heads on anything, it's because of the influence of a feminine energy. It don't matter what it is. There is a feminine energy involved in there somewhere. So let's just say, for instance, a brother goes out, he goes buys himself brand new get up, whatever, he got his brand new kicks on and whatnot, and he's going to the club. Now, why he going to the club? He going to the club because he want to be seen by the women for the most part, right? He trying to be seen. Yes, indeed. He's trying to be seen, right? So he goes in the club, he clean, he kicking it or whatever. He looking around, see who's looking around at him. Dude comes up, step on his shoes. He got a little scuff. He want to battle. Why? It's not about, dude, you stepped on my shoes. It's not about that. It's about, dude, you stepped on the shoes that I wore out here for these women to look at. I need to be seen as being clean from head to toe. You just fractured part of my clean from head to toe. There is a feminine energy. Wars occur not just because the male, the masculine, wants the power and control. It's happening because the woman next to him or behind him wants it. He's going to do anything for her. She is the influence of what he does. The presidents that are put in our faces, the men, the masculine, that's what we're supposed to see. We're supposed to see them and say, well, he's the president, he has the power, he's the authority. We have to pay attention to this man. The man is the ruler, the man is the strongest of the two, the man, the man, the man. But that's not the case, because in the Oval Room or whatever room they're in, it's the woman making the decision, saying, here, this is what we ought to do. Sign this right here. Go ahead and say that. Do that right there. I'll write your speech for you in an hour. Or I'll be under the desk. I'll be under the desk. All right. So you go ahead and say this right here. It's about her. These are her words. These are her desires. These are her influences. These are her moves. But what's present is the man. Exactly. What's present to us is the masculine. So we give all of the glory, we give all of the praise and recognition to the masculine, forgetting that the feminine is in the midst of it all. He said, behind every great man is a woman. That's what we keep being told. But she's really, I'm going to just play on your words because that's what we're told. Behind every great man is a woman. It's more so that that great woman allowed him to step up or step back so he could be up front, right? But yes, that's what we've been told. What's going on, Kenny? Thank you, loved one, for being here. I appreciate you, darling. You would pick that one up. Out of everything I said, that's what you pick up. What's going on, Patricia? Thank you, loved one. I appreciate you for being here. But yeah, so for those of you who are just joining me, I don't know if you caught on to everything. We are discussing the sacred woman, part 2, the state of the nation, how and why it is so important for the feminine to over and understand her influence and her role as a feminine, as the goddess, Godis, because that is who and what she is. That is who we are. God is. Okay. If you didn't see last week's show, please do so, because this is part 2. We briefly discussed the principles of Ma'at. I'll go back over that later on. I'm going to also post them up. There are 42 principles of Ma'at. I'm going to give you all 6 of them a day. So when we come back next week, I'm going to expect you all to at least know the first 6. And those who know the first 6, I will have something for. Okay, I'm going to say the first 3 that know the first 6, I'm going to have something for you. Okay. It is important that we know. I might be scrambling around a little bit, but y'all stay with me. Another statement that was made is that if the woman is great, so is the nation. If the woman is great, so is the nation. So the state of the nation that we're in right now lets us know that the woman is not at her healthiest. She's not at her greatest. She's not in her power. She's not in her fullness. She's not even clearly recognized herself as who she is. Because look at the world. Look at what's going on here. We lost in the sauce. Wars are happening. Rumors of wars are happening. We have we miscommunicate with one another. We're calling each other out of our names. We low vibration. All kind of stuff is happening because we're not in our proper position. We're not in our roles as the woman, as the goddess. We're not doing it because we've been told so long. We've been conditioned so long. We've been seeing and hearing and practicing the ways of the man, the masculine, for so long that we've completely lost and forgotten who we are. And we have to start remembering that, because it is because of who we are that influences and changes the state of the nation that we're in. We give birth to the nation. We nurture the nation. We are the mother of the nations. This is fact. Let's just even deal with Africa. And I'm gonna give you something I learned on that one too. We refer to Africa as Mother Africa, the motherland, right? You're going back to the motherland, or we need to go back to the motherland. This is true. Now, here's something that, and Africa is a nation, yes, feminine, nation. Africa, as we know it, as it is spelled, as it's written, as we know how to write it out, is incorrect. That is the way it was given to us when it was conquered and divided. That is what it means in the way that it's spelled. Africa means divided and conquered. Africa, Afrika, is the correct spelling. It's Africa, not Africa. It's Africa. So it's African. Okay, Africa. That is what is the true motherland. That is the true nation. It is one. When it got conquered and divided, then it was respelled. It was readdressed. So we need to know these things. You know what I'm saying? Because every time you say something or every time you write something, it is a spell. So if we're constantly saying things the way that we've been taught and not remembering what they are naturally, then we're causing some things to be recreated or to perpetuate incorrectly. We have the power to change these things, sisters and brothers, because I know some showing up, just watching, whatever. We have the power to change these things. And for the men that are watching, I'm going to tell you that there is an expectation and a necessity for you to raise your women, give her support, give her information, be a foundation for her, give her what she needs to become the goddess that she is. So many of you are participating in the degradation of us. I think I said that right. You're participating in causing the vibration of us to lessen. You're participating in the misrepresentation of who we are. You're participating in that instead of saying, hold up, I know who this Black woman is. I know who she is. Represent her, protect her. The Black woman, the Black woman is the most disrespected, the most unprotected, the most neglected of any body, anywhere. It is time for you all to step up and protect, defend whatever you must do, because you are part of us. We brought you into this world. Fred, what's going on, sir? Appreciate you for being here. What's going on, Robin? Appreciate you, loved one, for being here. Always, always. Fred says, evening, everyone. Make sure you represent. Speak back to my brother. But again, it is important for the men to really have an understanding as to who we are and why it's necessary for y'all to step up, why it's necessary for you to protect, why it's necessary for you to stop neglecting. If we not okay, y'all are not okay. The nation is not okay. If we're not good, if we're not healthy, the nation is not healthy. The nation is not good. Period. If you want to call, please feel free. 770-906-5271, 770-906-5271. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free, call in 770-906-5271. I appreciate you, loved ones. See, that means that right there, that's everything. Brother at work, okay? He's on duty, but he shows up. Like, that's supportive. And he comments. That's supportive. He was fighting for me the other day on another one of my feeds. Dope. So appreciate you. But that's supportive. We need that. We have to start supporting one another. We have to start standing up for one another. We have to stand in, what's the word? Y'all know what I'm saying. I think you know what I'm saying. because I can't think of the word. But anyway, it's time for some things to change. And the only way that they can change is if and when we realize that we have the power to do that, that we must cause the change, that we must be the change that we want. That masculine and feminine energy have got to be balanced out. It's time for the feminine energy to rise up, and it's time for the masculine energy to raise up the feminine energy. And that's just it. Back at you, bro. That's it. It's time to do it. It says the woman must begin. Oh, this was okay. These are my thoughts. The woman must begin to restore herself and separate and cut off anything or anyone which threatens her divine oneness or makes any attempt to stifle her restoration. Do you all understand what I'm saying? Absolutely, Fred. We must back each other. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's time for us to restore ourselves. It's time for us to have support in restoring us. It's time for us to start cutting off folks that have a plan to keep us down, to keep their foot on our neck, that want to continue to make us feel or believe that we are any lesser than what we are. Cut yourselves from them. Cut them from you. Disconnect from it and from them. And I don't care what title they have. Disconnect yourselves from anything and anybody that is trying to prevent you from restoring yourself. They got to go. I've said this before. If you can't grow with me, you can't go with me. And that's in all things. It doesn't matter if it's male or female or somewhere in between and don't have a clue. You can't go with me, period. Okay. So again, woman must begin to restore herself, separate and cut off anything and anyone which threatens her divine oneness and makes any attempt to stifle her restoration. It's also been said that the hand that rocks the cradle rules the world, right? The hand that rocks the cradle rules the world. And I never really considered that. I never thought about that way. But that is also true. That's the power in it. That's the soothing in it. That's the influence in it already. If we want something to calm down, think when a baby is hooting and hollering, when there's mother and father, male and female, whatever, when a baby is hooting and hollering, and that's to say the father had the masculine energy, has the child, doesn't matter if it's male or female, what does he do? He goes and hands that baby to the mama, the mother, the woman, because she's going to calm down that fierce energy. She's going to calm down that chaos. That is the balance in it. She's going to balance that out because the baby is expressing a masculine energy. She is the feminine energy. She's going to use her natural influence and calm that thing down. So the state of that particular nation is going to be balanced. When a child, again, is out of line, or if a child wants something and they're talking to the father, what does the father say? Go ask your mom. What your mama say? Right. If the child is cutting up, for instance, and the mother speaks to the father about the child, what does the father say? What did your mama tell you? Boy, go do what your mama told you. Little girl, what your mama say? It goes back to the mother. It goes back to the feminine. You can't tell me, you cannot tell me that there is no power or no particular purpose for the feminine energy. You cannot tell me that there is no goddess existing here. You can't say that when everything and I mean everything, depends on the feminine energy. Everything depends on the feminine energy. It's been said, a happy wife, happy life. Now, I take that a happy spouse, happy house. However, the first thing is if the woman is good, the household is good. If mama mad, ain't nobody eating, ain't no clothes getting bought or put out, ain't nothing going on, ain't no conversation happening. If mother is unhappy, it's a wrap. The household is tore up if there is contention, if the woman is in a different mind space, if she is at all irritated, if she is at all out of balance, the whole household is out of balance. You can't tell me that there is not something very specific and powerful about us. You can't tell me that there's not. Women, start remembering these things, even if you think they're little, because it's natural for us. But you have to pay attention that when we step into something, it changes what that is. It changes the energy of whatever that is. If we step into the chaos, we will either calm the chaos or increase the chaos. Our energy is everything. Our energy, the feminine energy, is powerful. You must allow the God is to be. You must allow her to be. You must acknowledge her. When you speak of anything that is in the heavens above, anything that is within, you must acknowledge the feminine in her. When you speak of the Holy Trinity, you must acknowledge the woman. You must acknowledge her. When you speak of God, you must acknowledge the feminine energy of God. You cannot leave her out. Every time we speak of God, we always, always, always speak solely in the masculine. But it is written that God is feminine and masculine and created us in that same image. Masculine and feminine, God created. When God decided, I say this is why I'm finna be no religious conversation. It's not. I wasn't really trying to go to the Bible, but here I am. When God created human beings, there was a conversation that was being held. God said, and I'm paraphrasing, let us make man in our image, male and female. So that meant, and it's just me. So I'm gonna just say that it's just me. Let us being plural, right? When it's more than one, and in our image, our meaning is more than one. In our image, male and female, it's still two, right? A masculine and a feminine. Put it together. I'm just saying. It's just my thoughts based on the information given, okay, as is written. I'm just saying. Stop leaving us out. Stop leaving out the feminine goddess. We cannot function in balance without her. Period. It doesn't matter what you've been taught. It doesn't matter how long you've been conditioned, because we've all been it, okay? All of us, self included. We've all been in it. But it's got to come a time where you start thinking. This is what this is about, to provoke you to think. And I've always said that I am a thought provoker. I want you to think on your own. Get the information for yourselves. Think for yourself. Everything that you've been told, things that you have been taught, things that you have heard continuously, things that have been in your face continuously over the years, for however old you are, if you start asking questions about everything, you have more questions about everything. Then you'll start getting some answers about everything. But you got to stop just accepting anything. That's the problem. What you saying, Anointed? You say, you cannot go around us. You cannot push us to the side. That's right. Fred says, without women, there is no man. Facts. 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 And it behooves me. Behooves me how logically, let's just do that, okay? Logically, if woman came from man, came from man's rib, okay? Why is it that the woman is the one who keeps bringing forth the life? You ain't seen never a man walking around here impregnated and anything coming out of his ribs. Nothing. Nothing. So how is it that woman came from man in that sense? How? Because I would think if that was the case, this is just me talking. It's just me. I would think that if that was the case, then that cycle would have to continue, right? It would have to continue. So if John gave birth to Mary, then when Mary came, how's she gonna start giving birth? That ain't how that should work. John need to give birth to another something. Mary should never, ever, ever, ever be able to reproduce herself or anything else if he was the one that was, must I? Okay. I'm just saying. It's my thought. Because I know folks gonna look at this, gonna hear me, gonna be pissed. And I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. My job is to make you think. That's it. I tell you when it's just my thought, I will share my thoughts. I'm not afraid to share my thoughts. Okay. Now, a lot of the things that I say, download. Okay. That's why I'm allowed to say it, because I'm being told to tell it to you. So I'm going to say it. And if you feel some type of way about my download, that's between you and you. Okay. I don't have nothing to do with that. If you feel some type of way about my thoughts, my opinion, we can talk about it. We can talk about that. But if it's a download, baby, trust and know that it's a fact. Okay. That's the information. If you want to call in, feel free. 770-906-5271. 770-906-5271. And real quickly, I want to also remind you again, if you have not purchased this book, okay, make sure you get this. Read this book, The Conspiracy to Destroy Black Women. There is a lot of information in this book that you need to know. You need to get an understanding as to what has occurred and what is still occurring and how to combat it. The Conspiracy to Destroy Black Women by Michael Porter. Make sure you get this book, okay? That's just one, okay? The other is what we are basing this whole lesson on. The Sacred Woman by Queen Afua. Okay, this is what we are basing our change on. This is what we're basing our change on. Again, this is not a show. This is you're showing up to get the information. You are in a class now. If you don't want to get your certificate from graduation, you don't even need to keep showing up to the class, because this is for edification, yes, but it's also for prospering correctly. It's for the balancing correctly. It's to change the state of the nation correctly. So if this ain't what you want, you don't have to be here, and I won't feel no kind of way. This is what this is for. Anointed Yvonne says, women hold a phenomenal anointing and power from God. Yes, we do. We are the weaker vessel, but mighty in God. See, that part. This is where I'm going to say, we are not the weaker vessel. That is something that has been put upon us to be live as well. So when you consider, let's just look at everything. Let's look at everything. I think I talked about it briefly last week. The weaker vessel means that we're not as strong as. And if you consider, we go through monthly situations, we give birth to whole entire human beings. We endure being the most neglected, abused, unsupported. We have weights upon ourselves that only we can carry. We have so many isms and schisms that we have to fight through in every aspect of this system. We are expected, and we are to be the most resilient no matter what we go through, no matter what has been said, no matter what has not been said, no matter what has been given or taken away, no matter what, we are expected to survive. We're expected to be resilient and smile about it. We're expected to do that, and we do that. We're expected to forgive everybody, love everybody, even though we are the most hated, and we do that. I'm sorry. Where are we the weaker vessel? Huh? Where? No, ma'am. We are not. There is no way we are the weaker vessel. When our emotions get toyed with on a regular basis, when our identity is stripped on a regular basis, when we're told that we're ugly, that we need to look a certain way, that we need to go buy some body parts, that we need to straighten out our hair, that our lips are too big, that we think crazy, that whatever. We don't go ball up in the corner for long. We don't go ball up in the corner and wish to die. We don't do all that. We might cry it out for a minute, but the moment all of those tears have come out, guess what just happened? Transformation has just happened, and strength then got stronger. Ain't no way we the weaker vessel. No, sir. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. So no, ma'am. That's just something else that we've been taught, because it's written, and because it's constantly said, and because it's written in a book that we have accepted to be holy and completely accurate, and as the word of God, masculine, then we say it must be true. It's in the Bible. It's got to be correct. It is not. There is no way. You can't get a man to hold a pencil in his hand for 9 months straight, let alone carry a whole growing human being in his womb that he hath not for 9 whole months, and to exit. Huh? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. So I'm just saying, with all due respect, and you know I love you, we are not that. And refuse from this point to accept that as your truth. Refuse to accept that as your truth. Now, are there instances where the male body, yes, is created to be able to withstand more physical endurance? Absolutely so. Absolutely. The woman is also capable of carrying that weight. She's just not created to do so. She doesn't need to. She may want to, that's fine, but she doesn't need to. I think I done went all off my notes. I know I did. Real quick, I said I'm going to give you the I'm not getting ready to get off. I just want to give you this real quick. 6 of the 42 laws of my, I'm going to tell it and then I'm going to post it. I just want to give it to you. There are 42 laws of Ma'at. And again, for those of you who missed it, Ma'at is it's a feminine energy, but there are the point of it is to inspire responsibility and self-accountability. What it represents is truth, harmony, balance, law, righteousness, sobriety, and propriety. And propriety is the state of conforming to accepted behaviors or morals, which we've been given those from a masculine standpoint. We need to receive them and practice them as a feminine. So real quick, I'm just going to give you the first 6 of the 42 laws of Ma'at. The first is I will not do wrong. Very simple. I will do no wrong. I will not steal. I will not act with violence. I will not kill. I will not act unjustly. Those are the first 6, right? Was that 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was 5. The last one is I will not cause pain. So again, the first, I will not do wrong. The second, I will not steal. The third, I will not act with violence. The fourth, I will not kill. The fifth, I will not act unjustly. And the sixth, I will not cause pain. I'm going to post those, and I'm going to question you all about them. I'm going to post them. And every day for 6 days, I will post 6 more. For 7 days, I'll post 6 more. I want you all to study that, to memorize them. They don't even have to necessarily be in order, but know what they are and start practicing them. We're going to really do something. Again, this is not about just getting information. This is about applying what we need to know, applying the principles in order to give life to the goddess that is. And another thing I wanted to point out, this kind of sidebar, still dealing with this, is when we talk about kings and queens. Now, we've been taught that a queen is only a queen when she has a king, right? You can't be no queen if you ain't got no man. If you don't have a king, you can't be a queen because he got to marry you and blah, 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 right? That's what we've been taught. However, if you recall, there are several instances where queens and kings have been, I'll say, assigned, if you will, before they were even born. First of all, before they were even born, they were as children ruling nations, but the lineage of a king does not come from the man. The lineage of a king comes through the woman. Hello. The lineage of the king comes from the woman. So he cannot be if it is not for her, not the other way around. Okay? We must unlearn what we've been taught, and we must remember what we know. Unlearn what we've been taught and remember what we know. Miss Stephanie, thank you, love, for showing up. We about to exit, but please make sure you watch this, okay? Please make sure you watch this. If you all want to call in real quick, we can do that. Again, number 770-906-5271, 770-906-5271. Robin says, I am the mother of humanity. I walked in this peace with royalty in my cells. I know that's right. And let's do this as well. Let's every day do an affirmation for self. And an affirmation is an I am statement. When people ask you, and this is what we do, people will ask you, how you doing? Oh, I'm good. I'm is I am. I'm good. I'm well. That's not an affirmation. Okay, right. Can nobody tell you nothing? I know that's right. Hey, Miss Carla, thank you, loved one, for being here. An I am affirmation states a state of being. It is a state of being. So I am powerful. I am manifesting. I am magical. Whatever that is, whatever your I am is, it needs to be doing something. Okay. I am fine is not an affirmation. There is no command there. I am is a command. Now let's go. Got to go right back to the word real quick. When God was asked, I think God was speaking to Moses at the time, if I'm correct. When God was asked, who shall I say sent me? Or what is your name? Whatever. Okay. The response was, I am that I am. I am that I am, not who. I am that I am, because that I am is a state of being. I am whatever I say I am. That is what I am. I am teaching God's people to recognize themselves as God's people. So because I am teaching God's people to recognize themselves as God's people, then God's people are learning to be God's people. I'm just saying, just give you an example. What's going on, Divine? Thank you for being here, loved one. Okay. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns that anyone would like to make before we make a left? Because we're going to get deep. Okay? We're going there. And it's going to be some questions. There's going to be some questions. And I'm okay with that. There's going to be some questions. This is a process. Let me remind you so y'all don't get confused. I want nobody here that's confused and think you ain't supposed to show up next week or no more. Okay. What this is not a show. Okay. This is a class. This is what we're doing. This is a classroom now. We are learning how to activate the goddess that we are. The sacred Wombman. We are learning to activate the power of the sacred Wombman. That's what we're doing. This is an ongoing process. This is how we change the state of the nation. This is how we balance things out. What we're around, if we don't like this, we got to fix it. Universal womb, we have to fix this. We can't wait on no he to tell us nothing. And no, this is not no man bash. Y'all already know I don't do that. But it's about the masculine and feminine energy. It is time for the feminine energies to rise up. It is time for the masculine energy to raise up the feminine. It's time for that. It's going to happen. It is happening. Balance has to be reset. Everything has to be reset. If it is not reset, we are bound to repeat history again. I ain't coming back for this bullshit. I'm just saying, I ain't coming back. It's time to change the narratives. It's time to change the history. Her story got to be told now. Y'all heard what I said. His story is his. He can't tell our story. He cannot tell her story. Her story must be told and it must be shown. It must be put into play. There is no more time to waste. I said what I said. If y'all have any more questions, any comments, nor concerns, I'm going to do what I always do, right? Last book, you got to get it, all right? The Business of Marriage, F Your Feelings, the truth about every relationship. So here's the thing. My website is no more. I'm changing everything. So you'll have to get this directly from me. You know how to do that. You know how to reach out to me and get that. If you are interested, however, in getting the Kindle version, that one is still available on Amazon. You can get the Kindle version on Amazon if you like. But if you want this autographed copy, you must reach out to me directly to get it. Okay? So please make sure that you have done that. Miss Reese, I still have some things of yours. So they're still in the bag. Whenever you're ready, they are ready for you. Make sure that you all continue to remind one another, male and female, that you appreciate the existence of one another. You appreciate the uniqueness of one another. You appreciate the power of one another. And sisters, I need you to tell each other this on a regular basis, whether you know her or not. Just say, sister, I appreciate you. And you can keep it moving. But it must be said. Devon said, when a woman needs to speak, fellas, sit down, hush, and just listen. Absolutely. Absolutely. Ain't no more telling her to shut up. Ain't no more being quiet. No more of that. Wisdom, if you even read that anywhere in a book, wisdom is always referred to as a feminine. It is always referred to as her. Wisdom. You would be a fool to not listen to her. Wisdom is feminine. Do not shut her down. You cannot make her be quiet. You cannot make her be still. She must be heard. She will be seen. And she will change some things. All right? Loved ones, y'all know I love you. Okay, let me read this first. A lot will get solved and a lot of healing will happen when you just listen and respond in humbleness. Absolutely. I'm going to take away the humbleness and put it as honor. Only because the overstanding of humble is to be brought low. We don't want the being brought low in that way, but be honorable. Just be honorable. Be respectful. You know what I'm saying? Do that. Just do that. So many things can, will, and must change. And the power lies in, lives in, let me rephrase that, lives in the goddess energy. Rise up, goddess. I love you on purpose, with purpose, and I will see you again soon. Until then, peace. Peace, y'all.